You need Excel to find a match in one column and return something from another. And VLOOKUP is one way to do that, but today I'm going to show you XLOOKUP, which is a lot easier to use once you see how it works. Let's set sail. I have the exact same sheet as I had in the VLOOKUP video. I have a master meal reference list on the right side, and on the left side I have my weekly meal plan. And I want to just type the meal name once and let Excel pull the rest of the information. And the way XLOOKUP does this is a little bit more direct. XLOOKUP will search one range for a match and then returns a value from another range that's in the same row. So instead of selecting one big table and counting across to a column like I do in VLOOKUP, I can point directly to the column I want to search and then the column I want returned. So we'll start with grocery cost. The formula structure for XLOOKUP already looks a lot simpler than VLOOKUP. It starts with equals XLOOKUP and an open parentheses, and again starts with the value you want to look up, in this case B2, my meal name for Monday, which is tacos. And then I select the range, which is my lookup array, which is where Excel will look for the meal name. And the third part is the column where I want to return the information from. That's the return array. In this case, that's the grocery cost. And I want to lock to those ranges, so I'm going to use absolute references in the two ranges. And press enter, and I get $18, which is the right grocery cost for tacos. And I can copy it down. And I have the grocery costs for each of my meals using XLOOKUP. And if you've used VLOOKUP, or if you've seen my VLOOKUP video, you can see how this is much simpler. I'm going to copy this quick to prep time. And the only thing that's going to change is the column that I want to return from, which instead of column M, it's column L, because the prep time from my reference list is in column L. So I changed the third argument to be L2 to L21, press enter, and now it's returning my prep time. And I can copy that down. The difference between each of these columns in the XLOOKUP formula is very small. I'm only changing that third argument to look at different columns. For the protein, it's column K. For the prep time, it's column L. Grocery cost is column M. The best for is column N. And whether it's good for leftovers is column O. And I've filled this in for all of the rows and all of the columns. And now I have a complete table. One thing that XLOOKUP will do that's very helpful is it will handle cases where something isn't found. So I add one more argument to the end. So I add a comma after what I'm looking for. I'm just going to type not found in quotes and press enter. So of course it finds tacos, but let's say I change tacos to potato soup. It gives me a nice not found message. If you don't add that, it's just going to give you a hashtag NA telling you that there's an error because it didn't find it. This just allows you to put something in the cell that looks a little bit nicer than an error, especially if you think something might not be found in your lookup array. So I'm going to undo that. There's another reason that people like XLOOKUP. It does not have the same limitation where VLOOKUP needs the leftmost column in the range that you specify to be the lookup value. Because the lookup column and the return column are separate, you can search in any column and return from any other column, even if the search column is not the one on the far left. And this gives you a lot more flexibility and does not require you to rearrange your data just to make the formula work. This does not mean that VLOOKUP is useless. It still matters because there's a lot of existing spreadsheets that use it, and it's still worth understanding how that works. But if XLOOKUP is available in your version of Excel, it often feels like the cleaner option. The thing to remember with XLOOKUP is first you're going to tell it what value you want to look up, then tell it where to look for that value, and finally what range you want it to return a value from when it makes a match. So until next time, I wish you smooth sailing.